Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mortuary. I am the Mortician, and today I have a recent albums pickup. Let's get right into this. I had to organize them. The first thing I want to get into is something I haven't listened to yet, which is why this is first, and that's Dope's Thieves. I believe this is a single or an EP or something. It's got 5 songs on here. 2 of them I think are by a different band, Pretty in Purgatory. I don't know what that's about. There's a live song, and then Blood Money, which is a song off Blood Money Part 1. And then of course Thieves, which is from Blood Money Part 2, which if it's anything like Blood Money Part 1, I'm gonna fucking hate it, because I wasn't a huge fan of Blood Money Part 1. But yeah, I have to give this a listen. See, it's still in its saran wrap, or whatever you want to call it. It's not saran wrap, shrink wrap. The next thing we got here is Bong Ripper's Hippie Killer. Oh, dude, this fucking album is absolutely awesome. If you don't know who Bong Ripper is, Bong Ripper, they're a psychedelic stoner doom band, is the way I like to describe them. Because they're not really stoner in the way of, like, Sleep or Electric Wizard. There's a lot more atmosphere. Like, I feel like this is less of an album you'd get high with marijuana on, but just like maybe trip on shrooms and put this on. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of atmosphere in this on this record. There's a lot of spaces between these really hard-hitting songs that really just give you a second to just space out and just really get into these. I don't know how to describe these sounds, but they're just like calming or like really trippy noises that go on between each song, which are really, really nice. And they break up these really hard-hitting riffs on this record, which is really, really awesome. And before I go on, I have to say the drummer for Bong Ripper, Jesus fucking Christ. Some of the stuff I'm listening to him do on this record is absolutely mind-blowing. Especially considering the kind of music they're in. I just was taken aback by how fucking expertly done these drums were. They're not lazily done, like they're really upbeat and up tempo. They're really, really nice. Definitely check this record. This is Bong Ripper's Hippie Killer. Definitely check that shit out. Next we have something that's considered a bit of a classic, and that's Sepultura's Arise. Yeah, I haven't really gotten into Sepultura until very recently. Like, I heard songs like Roots, and I've heard, I think the first song off this, Arise, and I think Refuse Resist. But it never really made me want to pull the trigger on any of their stuff until recently, because I never knew how I really felt about this band. They're kind of, during this era of Sepultura, they're not really groove metal yet. They're actually more of like a thrashy death metal group than they are like a groovy death metal group. Definitely awesome. I can't really liken it to anything, and I think that's mainly because they just have their own sound, I would say, for the most part. Definitely cool. I like the lyrics. I enjoy the vocal style. I like the guitars. The guitars are fast-paced and really, really nice, and they do have a somewhat of a groove to them, but not enough to call it groove metal influence. And the drums on this record are actually really done really well, actually. I really enjoy the drum work here. I like the fills. I enjoy the shit he's doing with the double bass. This is a good album, and I can see why people call this a classic. Definitely check it out. Next, we have Sanctuary's Refuge Denied. If you don't know who Sanctuary is, this is like just like a heavy metal band. This is Warrell Dane's heavy metal band. If you don't know who Warrell Dane is, he was the lead singer of Sanctuary, and I believe he was also the lead singer of Nevermore. And on this record takes a little while to get used to, in my opinion. It took me like at least 2 listens to actually really enjoy his vocal style. And the reason for that is just because it's falsetto all the time, really high pitch singing. And yes, it's enjoyable, but even people like King Diamond or Judas Priest, they use it more like an accent, and sing in a non-falsetto voice. But this is falsetto all the time. This is like really high-pitched, shrill vocals. I enjoy it. I think this is a good album upon a second listen, and the more I listen to it, the more I start to enjoy it. But this is one of those albums that'll grow on you and you'll learn to enjoy. The guitar work is really good on this, and the drum work is pretty good. Definitely recommend this album. Next, we got Demolition Hammer's Tortured Existence. Demolition Hammer, they're a New York thrash metal outfit. This is probably, as far as I can tell, this is the only fucking album that anyone talks about by these guys. And there's good reason for it. A lot of the riff work on this record is actually really, really good. The drums are pretty good. The biggest complaint I have, and the big complaints that other people have, is the guitar tone. The guitar tone on this record is muddy as fuck because they really, really turn the bass up on the guitars. So they really, it seems like they're trying to get a lot more live-ish performance and like try to make it seem like more of a moshing album. But you should do that live, not here. If you're gonna do a studio album, you should actually, you know, cut back on the bass and let the guitar be the MIDI instrument that it is. It's a I would say it's like a mid-range instrument. All of its key, I guess you could say, frequencies are in the mid-range. So to really water it down with so much bass on a studio album really doesn't work too well. Other than that, though, I really enjoy it. The best album song on here is definitely 44 Caliber Brain Surgery. Now we get to vinyls. First one we have here is Nails' You Will Never Be One of Us. I really like the way they put this on the vinyl too. It's like you can like shine it in the light and really see it. Hold on, let's see if I can get that. I really like that a lot. If you don't know who Nails is, I don't know what state they're from or if they're even from America, but I do know that they are a grindcore, punkish grindcore outfit. The way they play is fast and aggressive. Like, I'm talking about, this is probably the most intense album I own. And I say that because it just never slows down. It's like a 20-minute album, which is good, because if this album was any longer, I probably would like get really tired of it, because it's just like it never stops going. There's some cool grooves here and there, but it's mostly just hard-hitting, no-nonsense riffs. There is a lot of just fast palm muting and shit. Very, very good album. Once again, you might say, oh, it's only 20 minutes. Is it really worth it? I say it is, because if it were any fucking longer, you would get tired. Just to put it into perspective, we listened to this and Immolation's Atonement. I actually bought some of these albums with a friend. When we put this on, afterwards, we put on Immolation's Atonement. It was a 45 RPM record. Neither of us knew that. It didn't say it on the packaging, and it didn't say it on the outside, like the sleeve of the vinyl. So we had no idea. So I put it on 33 RPMs because that's what most records are. And it was super slow, and the vocals are like really deep. And I was like, is this how it's supposed to sound? Because like I didn't know, and I was just like cool with it, because like it just felt like everything was going to be in slow motion after listening to this. And he goes, oh no, is this 45 RPM? Yeah, it was. So we flipped it on, and it was still super slow in comparison. And it's Immolation. It shouldn't feel like I'm listening to something in slow motion. But that's what this album does, because it is a hard motherfucker. This is a fast motherfucker. Definitely recommend it. Next, we have Immortals at the Heart of Winter. This is actually probably my favorite album cover, or vinyl box, actually. I like the silvery chrome thing going on. And I really like the album artwork. It's super fucking dope. Immortal, I'm pretty sure I talked about Pure Holocaust here before. But they're like one of the first-ish black metal bands. Well, from the second wave, I should say. And it's pretty much that simple. They're just black metal. There's no real like influence elsewhere. It's just straight up black metal, and I really like that. The lyrical themes, if you can't tell by an album title like that, The Heart of Winter, is all about like winter and frost and snow and shit. which really, really works considering where I live. I'm in New England. It fucking snows like a motherfucker a lot around here. So to put this album on while it's snowing is just super fucking awesome, actually. Just to listen to this while, you know, the snow's falling, maybe I got a cup of hot chocolate or whatever, and I got fucking Immortals at the Heart of Winter blasting in the background. That shit is fucking euphoric. It's fucking amazing. Definitely recommend checking this out. This is one of their better albums, I think. I think I like this a little bit more than Pure Holocaust, not by much. But when it comes to Pure Holocaust, they never knew how to end a song. It would just abruptly stop. But this record, they learned how to fade out their songs and actually put a proper ending on them. Definitely recommended. Should check them out. And this is really weird. This is only one vinyl. I'll show you that. It's a ginger ale colored vinyl, which is why I didn't show you nails, because it wasn't any particular color. And it's just really awesome to have a gatefold for one album, which I actually kind of prefer. I wish they gave me something like a better sleeve than just like a plastic bag, though. If I were reviewing this, I'd probably subtract a point for that. But still a good album. Last but not least is Borknagar's The Olden Domain. If you don't know who Borknagar is, they're like a progressive black metal band from the 90s. Very folk metal-y, but still in the realms of black metal. There's traditional black metal, of course, in this, but there's a lot of folk singing, like that really raw, not super clean singing that you hear on like maybe Celtic, I guess you could say powwow or whatever, I don't know what the fuck to call it. It just seems super folky, and I really enjoy that. And if you don't know, Grim did the drums on this. Grim was the live drummer for Immortal for a while. I don't think he ever played on an Immortal record, but he did play on this, and the drums are impeccable. The guitar work is impeccable. The vocals are really, really great, and the lyrics are awesome too. This is a double LP. I actually like that a lot. It's just gray, so I'm not going to show you. It's literally just gray. But definitely recommend this. If you're wondering, this is probably actually an album I would recommend people to start with. Like, if you were just like, hey, Cameron, what black metal album should I start with? I'd probably either give you this or Dissection, Storm of the Light's Bane, because they're intense, don't get me wrong, but I think they would be something that is a little bit more easy to get into than like Immortal or something along those lines. Definitely recommend this. I actually picked this up for $20, which is actually amazing. I cannot think, like, I have Dismembers like an ever-flowing stream. That's a double LP. I paid $35 for that. To be fair, though, they're on 180 grams, so they're like better sounding, I guess, but considering it's like old school Swedish death, it's mixed like crap anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'm really glad to have this record. All of these records are definitely worth checking out, except for like the Dope thing. I haven't listened to this yet, so like, you know, buy at your own risk. This is not, I don't know what this is. Thank you guys for watching. Please tell me what you guys are listening to down below. Did you guys pick up any good albums? What are you listening to? What are you playing? Maybe you're not a musician, or maybe you're not someone who's that into music. Maybe you play video games. Tell me what's up. Thank you guys for watching. Mortician, peace out.